I suck pretty hard at Slayer. It's no secret that I'm a pretty AFK player, so forgetting you were slaying and logging back in to find yourself in Lumbridge with no gear isn't the best time. Slaying is huge in OSRs though, so I knew there was one way for me to amp up my skill. I dropped some points and unlocked the boss tasks. I knew that this would force me to learn some bossing experience. Kill the mole, that new free-to-play giant, that kind of stuff. I finished up my task and hit up Duradel. Callisto, how many do you want to kill? Callisto? Pretty sure that was that spider that always kills me when I do wilderness clues. After a quick trip to the wiki and a few PMs to a friend, I get stacked in Verex and we head off. Overall, this was pretty exciting. Grouping up with a friend, getting specific gear, and having to tensely watch my screen remind me of survival horror games I love to play. We get to Callisto and get a clean kill, not too hard, and get a stack of death runes for our reward. Not too great, but it's my first kill. Halfway into the next kill, a dude in Mystics pops in out of nowhere, friend screams, "It's a scout!" and we take off. I make it away with my friend, but sadly he forgot his glory and dies. No big loss though. We get back and wrap up the task, 3 solid kills on Callisto, time to split up the loot. Death runes, a rune pick, and some snapdragon seeds. I was completely underwhelmed. Here's the point I'm trying to get. For all the effort, time, and risk it felt that I was taking on for this boss, this loot was nowhere close to making this worth it for me. The profits weren't really that bad, PKers weren't too common or lethal, and it was fun at first, but I could also get decent rates just by AFKing some easy monster while I did chores. Why risk anything at all for such a meager return? I love the idea of the wilderness, but I don't think it is something that I have much reason at all to use as a player. The idea of an open wilderness PvP is one I love. I love the idea of tense one-off fights in random situations, I love planning trips into it, and I love the tension. In reality though, the wilderness doesn't live up to that. For me, the problem is fighting back. Not that you can't, not that you are being outplayed, but just that there isn't a point. If I go in a fight to kill Callisto, I'm already putting up a risk. And even if I did risk more to try and give myself a fighting chance, it wouldn't increase my chances to win. The opponent I'm fighting is a min-max, streamlined PvPer with barely anything to lose. The way I see it, I'm putting myself up to be this helpless prey for the chance at a decent drop if I get the kill, if I get the drop, and if I make it back. There just doesn't seem to be a way to look at this where it's worth my time. Unless you really want the pet, I guess. I'm going to outline some of my thoughts on why this doesn't work, and let me know if you agree, have a fix, or if I'm just completely off base on this. 1. When killing Callisto, I was surprised at how few drops it had. Not in the loot table, but just the all-or-nothing nature of it. If you aren't getting big drops, what do you get? A participation treasure and some bones? It feels as if Callisto should drop from several tables of varying rarity, rather than getting your one big drop and some bones. Callisto could drop the big roll, some food, some gold, and some consumables. This would make the value hopefully more consistent, give PvPers more consistent loot, and incentivize longer trips rather than bailing after each kill to run back to the bank. 2. Give me the ability to fight back. This is beyond the scope of this video and a problem with the game as a whole, but I want to be on even ground in the wilderness. As it stands today, when a PvPer appears, you just run. You will not be able to turn on the fight, and the PKer will not drop loot that's worth your time at all. PvPing should feel like an intense duel, not just some kind of pub stomp that you were the unlucky guy to get in on. 3. Give me an incentive beyond Golden XP. Ultimately, Callisto and many things in the wilderness just don't feel worth it. I can grind XP elsewhere. I can make money elsewhere. I can buy the drops elsewhere. Outside Iron Man getting the ring, what is the point of this boss? I think the pet is a great step in the right direction for this, and I would love to see more boss-specific loot or just progression paths that go through Callisto. These are just my first impressions of this and the other wilderness bosses as someone who takes a more casual role in OSRS. I want to see the wilderness thrive and become something every player can participate in, which I kind of want to cover in the upcoming videos. As it stands today though, you won't see this casual in the wilderness. At least until I go do some more elite clues. Thanks for watching and letting me know what you think about this and other OSRS topics. This video is part of a series I call On the Rune. It's a grab bag playlist of OSRS videos I enjoy making in my spare time. If you have a topic or want to let me know your opinion, you can reach me over on Twitter with @taken4grantd or emailing grant@taken4grantd.com. See you in the next video.